Hi guys, hope you're well, and today is another episode. Oh god. Hi guys, hope you're well, and today is another episode of Blogger Issues. And today I wanted to talk about, whether we use blogging and YouTubing as an excuse to avoid reality. Start with an admission, I definitely do. I've turned into a bit of a hermit of late. I don't really venture into London anymore. I've not been going to many events, if any. I don't go to gigs anymore. That's mainly for health reasons, but I don't go to many things. All I do is see my really close group of friends that I can completely relax with and just go for food or go to the cinema. I'm completely avoiding large social situations. This was already on my list to do, actually, this video, but then I watched Chapman's video last night on BBC Three, and he was talking about how before he got into YouTube, he was very shy, very unhappy, and lacked a lot of confidence, and how much vlogging and being on the internet and YouTubing has actually given him so much confidence. And you can see what he does now, like he can do red carpet interviews and all those sorts of things, so it's definitely done wonders for him. But you see people talking to the camera and putting themselves out there on the internet, showing like lots of aspects of their lives, personal stuff, being quite out there with opinions, showing bare face, talking very confidently. And actually a lot of YouTubers, when you actually talk to them one-on-one and you ask them about their lives, a lot of them are extremely shy, lack confidence or self-esteem. Some are quite paranoid too and suffer with anxiety and find, group situations quite daunting. And I think there's a misconception that, YouTubers, you must be confident, you must be self-assured and all those sorts of things to be able to do this. But actually, I think for many it was that escape, that place they could vent where they can't in normal life. So perhaps they had lots of things they wanted to say, or they had a passion for something, or they needed somewhere to brain fart at that they weren't able to in real life or were too scared to do in real life. And YouTubers given them that. So obviously YouTube can be hugely confidence building for people and give people a lot in terms of helping them come out of their shell and helping them, explore their creativity and give them that outlet. But I think people like me actually sometimes is not always positive, because I found such comfort in this world to a degree that I've started avoiding real life and 3D world and used it as an excuse. These days I'll spend day after day, week after week even, just, at home, just with myself, typing blogs or creating videos. And I'll justify that as being totally okay, because that's my job and I'm trying to do well at my job and succeed in my job, and I'm just cracking on with that. But actually, taking myself out of the real world and seeing people face to face and putting myself in those scary situations, is that actually a good thing? Because the longer you leave it and the less of the real life stuff you do, the more intimidating and scary it is when you eventually have to do something or you have to venture back into the real world. I think for me and probably many other vloggers, talking to the camera, that little lens that you just stare into for hours on end, has become the comfort zone, which is quite peculiar, and it must be a very 2015-16 thing, like phenomenon, that children are more comfortable looking into a screen or a lens, and soon we're going to have just a generation of people that don't know how to communicate, that don't know how to kind of exist in real life situations, and that's actually quite worrying. But I can totally see why they and me are doing it, because although we've got to worry about the repercussions of when we put out a video and the fact that we putting ourselves up for negative comments and people saying nasty things on the internet, we still don't have to deal with let's, for instance, I'm terrible at doing greetings when I go out. I never know whether I'm going to kiss, what cheek to kiss on first, how many kisses to do, when it's to do the handshake thing, when it's to do the hug, and I end up snogging people. Like, I snogged my friend's granddad once, I snogged someone at a job interview. When I say snog, there were no tongues involved, but lips touched, and that was awkward enough. I do the whole thing where you end up crunching your hand because they go in for the hug and you've gone in for the hand. Like, it is, it's horrendous. Anyway, I accidentally kissed one of Bastille on the lips once as well after an interview. Oh, so embarrassing. Yeah, so that's one thing that just stresses me out. I find festivals particularly stressful because when you're in the press area or in the backstage bit, literally you can't walk a metre without seeing someone you know, perhaps someone you've worked with, an acquaintance, industry person, and it's just conversation after conversation of awkward chat, and it's almost unbearable. But here in my garage, freezing my things off, I've got none of that to worry about. And yeah, when I've been out at events and stuff, and I've met some vloggers who are reasonably big vloggers, and even though I'm in this situation myself, I assume they're going to be super confident, super friendly, all that sort of stuff. And some of them have appeared quite standoffish, almost to the point of being rude. And the people I've been with have been like, oh, I don't like her, or I don't like him, or whatever like that. And I've had to say to them, look, I don't think that they were being rude or standoffish. I genuinely think that they're just quite awkward, or they're quite shy, or, you know, because I've been there. I remember someone at my sixth form saying that she was scared of me, and I was so like upset and shocked by it because I'm not scary at all, and I was just shy. And I think quite often people misinterpret shyness or introvertedness, is that a word? Introvertedness, as rudeness or like superiority or like being snobby, and quite often it's them just feeling awkward and not being comfortable in the situation. So, but yeah, it's really surprising how many people that you think would be like super confident and super bubbly actually aren't in reality, and it's only in their comfort zone of the internet that they embody that personality. Like I said, I think, you know, a lot of us, when blogging first became a thing, I think the first reason many of us wanted to do it, because at that point there wasn't kind of financial rewards, there wasn't fame, there wasn't anything like that. It wasn't very aspirational. It was purely a place for us to vent our thoughts and our feelings, our opinions, almost like a diary, I guess. And, you know, we weren't that fussed whether people were reading it. It was more about the process of writing these things down, getting them out. And I think people that do that sort of thing is probably because they perhaps aren't so good at vocalizing it to real people, to their friends, to their family, to their loved ones, and so they resort to doing it somewhere else. And so I think that says a lot about the type of people that become bloggers and vloggers. I think a large chunk of us are probably perhaps anxious, perhaps have overactive minds that overthink things all the time. I think we tend to worry a lot. I think a lot of us are paranoid. We worry about what people think about us all the time. And I think we find a level of comfort from being able to vent some of these things via our blogs or our videos, which obviously if we weren't able to vent anywhere, we'd probably go a little bit doolally. Some of us have, unfortunately. But I think we've also got to make an effort with ourselves that we do, even though it seems painful, put ourselves out there and actually have that 3D human contact and push ourselves to, you know, see more friends. Because I've noticed on Instagrams, for example, of a lot of bloggers and vloggers, you don't often see them post pictures of them just hanging out with their friends or doing things with friends. And I don't know, perhaps that's because they see that Instagram as like, oh, you know, a workplace, so they only post things connected to work, so maybe flat shots of makeup or travel shots or whatever. But part of me wonders whether these people just aren't hanging out with their non-YouTube or blogger friends, that they just don't do it, and therefore that's why they're not posted. I do worry that a lot of people in YouTube blogging world don't really have those really nice friendships out of the blogging and vlogging community, or don't invest enough time in them at least. I don't know. I might be wrong. Maybe you're just not posting the pictures of you going out with your friends and hanging out with your friends that aren't in YouTube and blogging. Who knows? Or maybe, or perhaps that you find that you only really relate to people that do vlogging and blogging now, and so most of your friend time is spent with those people. I don't know. I'd be really interested to hear from other vloggers and bloggers on this, whether you do find yourself not spending enough time with friends, like friends you had before vlogging and blogging. Perhaps you do find yourself cocooned at home for days and days and weeks because it just feels easier and safer. Are you a warrior? Do you feel anxious, paranoid in kind of social situations? Do you think that is a common trait of vloggers and bloggers? I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts. Yeah, sorry, another video of me rambling. I hope you don't mind. These are kind of just like me, brain everywhere, just because these are the thoughts that keep me awake at night. So I'm basically saying I am the topic of this video, aren't I? I am the epitome of what I'm talking about, basically, except for I'm not very successful. Anyway, leave your comments below as usual. Let's get this debate going, this chat going, see what you think about it, and I'll see you in the next video.